With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network tonight. Firing things off for the first night of the double header. Here with the Do It for Dale 225, you're watching the Performance Motorsports Truck Series. Regular season racing action almost behind us. We've got tonight in 2 more weeks left remaining in the regular season. Drivers vying for a top 16 position in the championship standings to fight it out for the season trophy. We'll see who gets the job done tonight. Will we have our first repeat winner of the season, or will we see an 8th fresh face to victory lane here tonight from the high banks of Talladega Super Speedway? Before we head trackside, how you doing? How you feeling out there in TV land, race fans? Glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Dave of the Cave bringing you all the calls from trackside. Speaking of trackside, over 30 trucks in the field here tonight, qualifying well underway. 2 minutes ticking off of that stopwatch. We'll see who can snatch the Airzine Racing Paints Pole Award here tonight and bring the field to the green flag. Let's go ahead and get rid of that track information. Nice cool day here in northern Alabama. Well, I don't know if you would consider Talladega northern Alabama. I do, but I don't know about you. But nonetheless, 99-degree track temperature. Drivers may be dealing with the tail end of these trucks getting a little bit loose in the corners, especially if there's some bump drafting going on. So we'll watch that track temperature as the race continues throughout tonight. 2 minutes now remaining on the stopwatch here in the Airs Eye Racing Paints qualifying session. Casey Carter gonna sit at top of the speed charts. Quick time behind the wheel of that number 2 Chevy Silverado. 55:86 is the fast time for Casey. McGregor with a top 5 qualifying effort. Harrison Mitchell going to work his way into the top 5. Haynes, Bliss, Dutton, Rominger, Darren Clement, Larry Poling, all yet to lay down their fast times here in qualifying. And really qualifying at Talladega, it's really more so for your pit box, right? Everybody going to be with each other in these high-speed drafts. A starting position really not so much of an advantage or a disadvantage. As long as you don't lose the draft, you'll be just fine. But during pit stops, that first, second, third, fourth pit stall can come in very handy. Especially a pit stop under caution. We'll see who utilizes it to their advantage. But for now, what do you say we drop that timing scoring over there to the left-hand side of your screen? There you can see the number 2 of Carter Casey, still top of the speed charts. 55:86, the fast time for Casey. Only 21 drivers with the time as we get down to the final 30 seconds. Looks like a lot of guys going to be starting without making a qualifying lap. And that just speaks volumes to what we were talking about moments ago about starting position. Really not that important, really, at these super speedway plate tracks. And just like that, that's going to do it. Carter Casey walks away with Airs Eye Racing Paints Pole Award. So with that being said, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break and head trackside for your national anthem. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in
And we bring you back trackside here from Talladega Super Speedway as the Performance Motorsports Truck Series, powered by Admin Box and Air's Eye Racing Paints, get set to fire things off here for the first time. 90 laps of racing ahead of these truck drivers. And what do you say? We get a little closer to the track, eyeballing these drivers as the final few begin to make their way through pre-race inspection and head down to the track. Over 30 drivers in tonight's field. You'll see the laundry list of drivers that have been to victory lane already this season. Will we get a fresh face again across the finish line, or will we have our first repeat winner of this season? Things beginning to get hot and heavy in that points battle. We'll get to some of that a little later on throughout tonight's race. So, let's see what we got here. 72 of Jerry Cochran walking away with the race win from Lucas Oil Raceway. Last week, a much different race here tonight. Can Cochran conquer the field and be the first driver to go back to back? We'll find out. It's gonna happen. Looks like most of the field has made their way through pre-race inspection and to the starting grid, awaiting the word from the officials. Our good buddy behind the wheel of the pace car will set these drivers on their way. Josiah Millen behind the wheel for us here tonight in that iRacing pace car. Boss man in the flag stand gonna radio on down. Driver's gonna turn these machines up, and we will get ready for racing action here from Talladega Super Speedway as the pace car set sail. The music begins to blare. You know the sounds. You know it's time to run down tonight's starting lineup for the Do It for Dale 225, starting inside row number 1, snatching the Air's Eye Racing Paints pole award behind the wheel of the number 2 Chevy Silverado, Carter Casey. John Wimbish in the 56 going to start just to his outside. Back in row number 2, the 26 machine of Bailey Dutton. Dutton looking for his second win on the season, while Todd McGregor looks to cross the finish line for the first time here tonight from Talladega Super Speedway. Tommy Haynes and Logan Hartman back in row 3. Row number 4, behind the wheel of the 72 machine, Jerry Cochran III, followed by Jerry Jr. just to his outside. Justin Gann inside row number 5 with the double O of Nick Hunt. Rounding out your top 10. Row 6, Elsie Daly and Todd Craywall back in row number 7, the 9 of Mike Romiger, followed by the 20 of Dalton Fredericks. Harrison Mitchell, John McMillan Sr. back in row 8. Row number 9, the 14 machine of Lee Campbell and Stephen Ayers Jr. Gary Wells and Hunter Collier going to round out the top 20. Rest of your field looks a little something like this. There you have it, your 32-car field for tonight's Do It for Dale 225. So as pace car ducks off for the first time, we'll get set to unleash the beasts here for the first of our 2-night doubleheader from Talladega Super Speedway into the Geico Restart Zone. We roll, wait for it, away we go. Green flag flies for the first time here from Talladega. Whoa, a little bit of pushing and shoving early here on lap number 1 through turns 1 and 2. Down on the bottom of the racetrack, losing a little bit of ground. Trying to deal with that Busch Peach 17 machine. Tommy Haynes with a bit of a moment. Top 3 now make it 4 trucks clean and clear on the bottom of the racetrack. No battle coming from the high side, the 71 on Tom McGregor. He's got about a truck length and a half back to his help behind him. High lane starting to form up, but the inside lane cooking already. Your top 6 clear. In a big jump to the outside, here comes that 40 of Logan Hartman. The Hartman looking to lead the race for the first time here tonight. Still a very long way to go, but look what it does for that high line. Gives Todd McGregor a bit of a draft to follow, and he's going to pull that outside lane right up to the rear bumper of Hartman. 2 laps behind us will drop that time in scoring. Back over there to the left-hand side of your screen. Again, side-by-side racing action for what will be your race lead. I would expect Hartman to be up there battling for that top spot by the time we get to the end of the backstretch. And it may be a little sooner. Here comes the run from the high side. Momentum built. We've got 3 wide coming up through the field. 2-3 wide through the field early here on lap number 3. Third lane being led by the 58 of Harrison Mitchell. Hunter Collier right there as well. 2-3 wide front of the field, and here it is, 3 wide, your first 3 rows deep. Back across the line, lap number 4, gonna go on the board, and that high line will take that top spot away. They're gonna leave the McConey setup shop. I believe that's gonna be the 2 dropping out of it. He said he's had it up. He's heading to the rear. Led a handful of laps now. Carter Casey looking for a home deeper through this field. The double O of Nick Hunt just to his outside. Casey dropping like a rock from the top spot all the way back to 17th. New race leader at the front of this field. Hunter Collier going to take that top spot away. The 40 of Logan Hartman going to follow in line right in between those peak racing teammates. And how about Casey Salvage making his way up through the field? He was left high and dry on that third lane by both that 58 and the 38. He's looking, kind of wave a finger at him like, hey man, shouldn't have left me behind. Now you got to deal with me. And if I can get there, I'm going to punch you behind. Salvage going to lead that outside lane behind the wheel of that patriotic Picconi setup shop number 27. Chevy Silverado. We got bow ties at the front with one fast forward inside of your top 5. Long string of trucks down on the inside lane all the way back inside of your top 20 here running in this pack. About a half a second back. You'll find a second back beginning to take shape, so I wonder if a handful of these drivers may be thinking, you know what, let's just log some laps here. We've got 90 laps of racing, 225 miles ahead of us. Let's see if we can't log a little bit and be there to race at the end. Big moves from the bottom of the racetrack. Hunter Collier going to slide up, cover up that 27 of Casey Sawich. That's going to open up the door for Logan Hartman. Back across the line this time by Logan Hartman to the race lead. Six drivers tucked in line on the high side, trying to make things work. You can see a pack beginning to form back behind them as we head into turn number 3, coming right at you. It would look like it might be a second pack. Well, it's not a second pack any longer. These drivers have since regained some momentum, some energy building, and they have run them down. It is pretty much a full string of drivers all in line here at Talladega Super Speedway. Battle for the race lead still highly contested. Hartman and Collier. And we bring you back after the brief commercial break. Not a lot has changed at the front of the field. Those peak racing teammates have been able to find themselves together back at the bottom of the racetrack. Collier going to lead Harrison Mitchell with Casey Solwich in tow. Side by side for 4th and 5th, Logan Hartman and John Wimbish going at it. Dalton Fredericks, Nate Orlovsky, Todd McGregor, Stephen Ayers Jr., and Todd Craig. Round out your top 10. Here the Do It for Dale 225, brought to you by Swift Motorsports. You're watching the Performance Motorsports Truck Series. See a little more single file action beginning to develop. Only 4 drivers on that high side. Looking to make things work. I want to give a shout out to that 71 of Todd McGregor. Great run here tonight. For McGregor started inside of the top 5, sitting in 7th for the time being. So as we work our way towards lap number 15, this time by Todd Craig to pit lane. Todd Craig gonna pull to pit road. That's gonna bring Bailey Dutton, Darren Clement, Justin Ken, and Brinson Hunt to pit road as well. So green flag pit stops early here at Talladega. Hartman looking for a way around as drivers bailing from the high side. I would expect to say we're going to see some green flag pit stops coming up very, very quickly here. It looks like most of the field trying to get to that inside lane. That's typically a sign that green flag pit stops are right around the corner. Hartman going to lose a handful of positions as he tries to find a gap on the bottom of the racetrack. Looks like everybody going to stay out there at least one more time around. Nobody to pit road. Trying to take a look at the pit stops, and it looks like a fuel-only stop for Craig and Dutton, Clement, and Hunt. And why you ask? Well, tire's not really a factor, right? We've talked about this before at places such as Daytona. Of these restrictor plate tracks, your super speedway racing, typically we don't see a ton of wear out of the tires. You can usually keep the speed in the truck without having to put more fresh Goodyear on it. That's proven to be the factor right now, as the entire field, except for 5 drivers, have stayed out all the track. Those 5 drivers only getting fuel, so we'll see how the second, maybe third cycle of drivers to pit road work themselves out here tonight. No pit road penalties so far. Right around the corner from lap number 20 going on the board. Hunter Collier continues to show the way. Your pole sitter here tonight, Carter Casey. We watched him bring the field to the green flag. The real tree, number 2, Chevy Silverado, has since ducked to the tail end. And we've got a bad dash to pit road. John Wimbish going to take over the race lead for the first time. Oh, not so quick. Nate Orlovsky going to lead the lap this latest time around. He's going to have some help with a push from the 20 of Dalton Fredericks right behind him. There you can see the 98 of Brinson Hunt. Hunt came down to pit road but was unable to get off on pit lane with the drivers he came to pit road with. Now listed down off of the lead lap, only truck driver off the lead lap, but with the green flag pit stops right around the corner. 3 trucks in front will have to head to pit road, so immediately going to get himself back on the lead lap, trying to utilize as much of the draft help as again for the time being. Second cycle of drivers to pit road. Oh, a little quick. I believe that may have been the 71. Tom McGregor looked a little bit quick, and we got trouble. Caution. Caution on the racetrack. Caution gonna fly. The first time here tonight. Let's take a look, see what happened. I believe Cody Lipsher may have been involved in what ends up being our first caution of the night. Do we get, okay, we're getting a thumbs up, there you go. Oh, trying to avoid trouble on pit road. And the caution will come out. Cody Lipsher into the grass, and that's going to force officials to wave the yellow flag. So for the first time here tonight, no harm, no foul, but under caution. For the first time here tonight, Tommy Haynes, your new, and I believe this is going to be our fourth different race leader of the evening here tonight in the Do It For Dale 225. But what's it really do to this field? Would your top 11 have stayed out on track? Showing the way behind the wheel of his Toyota Tundra is Tommy Haynes. He's going to give up. Excuse us. He's going to give up that top spot. He's got to come to pit road. Fredericks, Wimbish, Collier, Gary Wells, they're all going to inherit positions on the track. They're going to head right back to the front. Taking a look at some of those drivers that pitted a lot earlier and not a lot of gains made. Todd Cray hit road back on lap 14 with that first group of drivers listed outside of your top 20. Only Justin Gann, who came to pit road on lap number 14, was able to keep himself somewhat in the fray, somewhat in the midst. The moment listed in 12th, but with a handful of drivers coming to pit road here, to see how it cycles through. Hunter Collier, Harrison Mitchell, both going to stay out on track. The Peak Performance Racing teammates will restart next to each other. Wonder if there's going to be some gamesmanship. Round's going to go down. Justin Gann comes back to pit road. Interesting to see Gann come to pit road. Todd Cray also to pit lane. So while a handful of drivers that made their green flag stop elected to stay out on track, a handful of these drivers want those 2 to 3 extra laps of fuel and will come back down pit lane. 4 fresh Goodyears now in order for the majority of this field. Looks to be your top 11 staying out on track. Just a handful of laps away from a third of the way through tonight's Do It For Dale 225. Caution. Flag flies after trouble on pit road, trying to avoid some contact, avoid some damage. Driver into the infield grass, and they're going to go ahead and bring the caution out for that one. Off the turn 4, back through the rivalry roll. There's Dalton Fredericks heading to pit road. Gary Wells, Carter Casey, Nate Orlowski also to pit road. Multiple drivers back through the field. Going to come back down, top off with fuel. Handful staying out here. So with a big shuffle in the running order and a one finger away from the boss man in the flag stand, the field has seen the one to go here. From Talladega Super Speedway, you're watching the Do It for Dale 225. Alright, so it's, excuse us, it's a little bit early, right? It's a little bit early here tonight, but we're going to ask your opinions out there. Who you got? Who's walking away with the checkered flag here tonight? We'll give you our pick in just a handful of laps. We won't let that broadcaster's curse out of the bag just yet as field gets set to drop the hammer. Once again here at the high banks of Talladega Superspeedway into the restart zone we roll, and green flag flies once again. Hunter Collier deep in the restart zone before jumping on the gas. He's going to get out to a good lead, drop right down to the bottom of the racetrack, right in front of his peak performance racing teammate. And here we go, single file front of the field. John Wimbish going to battle for third. A little wiggle up there as it looks like Harrison Mitchell, he says, I don't want to follow, I want to lead. He's going to head to the front and right around his peak racing teammate down to the bottom of the racetrack. That leaves Wimbish in charge on the high lane. Good to see our good buddy Pierce Maffett checking in with us over there on the YouTube chat side of things. Pierce, how you doing, bud? Good to see you back. And yeah, it's the return. Back here with Swift, right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Couldn't be happier to be back working with this group of drivers, admins, and officials. They are one of the top-notch leagues that you can find right here on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. There's racing action all the time, 24/7. You can always find some fenders to flare here on iRacing.com, but what a better place to spend your Monday night than behind the wheel of one of these Truck Series machines. You can check them out on the league directory page on iRacing.com. That's Swift MotorSports. So almost watching a replay of how the initial start of the race went. You can see those 5 trucks up there on the high line, trying to get something going, trying to get something working. Jerry Cochran Jr. looked to the outside for just a moment. The 40 of Logan Hartman going to do exactly what he did last time. That's jumped to the high side, but the 17 of Tommy Haynes says, not picking you up. We're going to head right on around. So as lap number 5 after the caution flag flies comes to an end, let's drop that time in scoring. Back over there to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you follow along and find your favorite driver in the field here tonight as we work across the line. 25 laps behind us. There's about, well, a little less than 65 to go. Hartman struggling to keep pace on that high side, but he is all alone. You can see some heavy side drafting action, but unable to really do much against, I believe that's going to be about 7 or 8 trucks. Hartman just trying to hold serve right now, looking for help from behind. You can see John Wimbish starting to make his way towards the front of this field. Wimbish has got, I believe that is the 17 of Tommy Haynes in tow with him. Yes, it is. 82 of Jerry Cochran Jr. looking for the front of the field. He's going to come to the aid of Hartman for the moment. Hunter Collier. You've got Collier to victory lane, huh? Okay. All right, I can... And Jess, cousin Jess out there in the chat, we already know your pick. Todd Gray, we'll see how Gray goes about things. Sitting just outside of your top 10 right now, but there you can see that Rich DPC, number 21, truck powered by Nitro. Bottom lane, about 7th to 8th. Back on that inside lane, but still looking good, no trouble so far. Matter of fact, most of the field, no trouble here tonight. No contact under our first caution. The driver heading through the infield. So all of these machines still crispy and clean. We'll see how crisp. We'll see how clean they can keep it. Looks like the 99 of Jared Lipshore, he's had his fill and field of the front. He's going to drop towards the rear of this field. So you got Mitchell leading Collier, Miller, Cochran, Campbell, rounding out your top 5. Colton Fredericks, Logan Hartman, Todd Cray, Jerry Cochran Jr., and Stephen Ayers Jr. round out your top 10. Not a whole lot of shuffling of the field here tonight. Biggest shuffle came with that caution flag, right? Handful of drivers able to capitalize on it, able to pick up a handful of positions. The two at the front, though, the two teammates, the tandem, if you will, Mitchell and Collier, they didn't utilize the caution flag to get to the front. They utilized that third lane. They got hooked up with 2 to 3 other drivers. Motor right past everybody. We had ourselves about 2 to 3 laps of 3 wide racing, and the high lane prevailed, bringing those peak racing teammates to the front of 14 positions, 18 positions. But how about that third truck in line, Ben Miller, up 27 positions. 27. Started all the way back in 30th, and here he is a third of the way through, sitting in third. That is what Talladega is about. That is what Blade Racing can do. The draft, the great equalizer amongst drivers in teams. We'll see who capitalizes here tonight. I think we're in for a crazy, crazy finish. I think we're going to see some long green flag runs here. Drivers look to be very patient for the moment. We'll see if that patience remains as the lap count Leaks away, a little bit of a wiggle there. That's going to force Mitchell to the high side. Looking to pick up the high lane, but they're going to motor to his high side. Hartman looks to jump to that third lane. It looked like he may hang out there with that 58, but no. Casey Salvage almost left out the drive once again. And it looks like new race leader at the front behind the wheel of his Toyota Tundra. The 14 of Lee Campbell leads the lap. Movement at the front of the field. The 58 going to go right back down to the bottom of the racetrack. Seems like being with the teammate is where you want to be. The 14 going to go for a block. He's going to push the 62 into the outside wall. Truck driver's going to scatter a bit. We stay clean. Well, we stay green. It's not clean, but we stay green. 62 of Stephen Ayers Jr. Not a lot of damage, but he's going to go up to the high side now, trying to catch a little bit of a run off of the front bumper. Well, that 27 machine is going to fizzle out for the moment. Let's take a look. Tell you what, we haven't went on board yet. Let's go on board, take a look back off of the tail end of the 72 with Jerry Cochran. 3 wide racing back around that 7th, 8th, and 9th position. A lot of racing going on from there. Let's take a look off of the tail end of the Airside Racing Paints number 27, the Cody Setup Shop machine of Casey Salvage. Salvage running that third lane. Trying to make things work, trying to get to the front, just not going his way for the time being. Let's jump a little further in the field. Back on board with the 82 machine of Jerry Cochran Jr. Sitting in the 15th position. He's got McMillan Sr., Wimbish, Rominger, and Hayes right around him. So back outside the truck and back around the track. Let's keep it right around that 10th position for the moment. See the double O of Nick Hunt behind the wheel of that John Deere machine. Just in front of Stephen Ayers Jr. And big snaking action going on down the backstretch. A lot of movement out of these trucks. A lot of movement. We've seen drivers head to pit road after 14 laps, opening up things for our first round of green flag pit stops. When will we see the drivers bring it to pit road this time? No real advantage gained for Todd Gray, Justin Gann, or the handful of drivers that came to pit road on lap 14 after that caution flag flew. So maybe questioning the strategy here. Right around 15 laps behind us since the drop of the green flag on the restart. Up the track just a little bit. Nick Hunt cutting the 40 of Logan Hartman a little bit of a break. And this is just how close these drivers are running in the field. Look at that high line just come flashing by as the 26 of Bailey Dutton all over the tail end. I believe that's going to be the 11 of Casey Duncan. Bailey Dutton with a huge push. Let's take a look here, man. Absolutely motoring to the high side. No, that's not the 11. That's going to be the 30 of Justin Gann. Justin Gann going to the high side. And again, we are seeing that high side really dominant as far as speed. Drivers from front to pit lane. Drivers are going to scatter as our first few tankers to pit road after the restart here. Mitchell, Collier, Miller, and Hartman all to pit road. That's going to hand over the race lead to the 72 of Jerry Cochran. Dalton Fredericks right behind him. Todd Cray third in line inside with the 29. Cornstar from Corn Hub. The 29 of Nate Orlovsky. And you know, it's a shame. And I hope his fans, and I hope his team, and I hope he doesn't take it wrong. Could you imagine if that Cornstar would have won the e-ethanol race at Iowa earlier this season? Talk about a trademark that you can't script. Man, that would have been epic. Just saying. Todd Cray gonna jump from that third spot inside lane now to the high side. Justin Gann behind him, familiar face, pushing on the tail end of that number 21. Bailey Dutton still glued to the tail end of Gann. When will Gann and Cray head to the bottom? Will they wait for Dutton to clear? Cray tried to walk his group down the track, but realized they were not all going to be clear. And here it is, more drivers to pit road. Jerry Cochran the third gonna head to pit lane. That's gonna slow the roll of that inside lane. Dalton Fredericks is still staying held on track. Justin Gann gonna drop to the bottom of the racetrack. Maybe a little bit of a block going on here, possibly trying to get both Todd Cray and Bailey Dutton up in front. We'll see how this one plays itself out. About 5 laps away from the halfway point. We've got comers, we've got goers, and we've got fresh faces at the front of this field. First time tonight, 30 of Justin Gann will lead the drivers around the field and up the track a little bit. More drivers in the back of this pack headed to pit road, and Gann going to get caught in no man's land. The 30 going to be put 3 wide. Meet in the sandwich as Bailey Dutton drops from the high side all the way now to the bottom. We're 3 wide racing, working our way into some lap traffic. Darren Clement going to get stuck behind in that 32 machine. Tough break here for Clement. Dalton Fredericks takes the race lead for the first time here tonight. Nate Orlovsky right behind him. Todd Crane, Justin Gann, and Bailey Dutton round out your top 5. McGregor, Lipster, Nelson, Poling, and Cody Lipster all to pit road. Last time by, we'll see when race leader Fredericks falls his stop, and there it is. Another 4, 5, 6 drive. Oh, the 14 quick into pit lane. Ooh. We're going to be eyeballing the pit road police. They may have popped them one. We'll see if we make it through the entirety of this round of green flag pit stops. First and only caution of the night. Line under our first green flag pit cycle after a driver with trouble avoiding contact on the pit road. Gonna swing it into the grass. We've been green flag racing since the pit stop, and here it is. Drivers to pit road. The drivers to pit road once again. Fredericks going to lead. Orlovsky going around the Cornstar himself. Unfortunately, not going to make the money shot on time here. Fredericks, Casey, Rominger, Daly, Wells, Hunt, Orlovsky, Duncan, all to pit road. We're going to take a look and ride right here with Bailey Dutton running in the 9th position. It looks like Dutton may inherit this race lead. So we're seeing what we typically see at short track races, right? Those short pits. We typically see those short pits working out. Come to pit road first. By the time the green flag pit cycle ends, 9 out of 10 times you're going to find yourself at the front of the field. It's not going to be the case here tonight at Talladega Super Speedway. Dalton Fredericks all alone. He's going to get gobbled on by these top 3, the Assassin Motorsports drivers. Linked up, running the high lane. Will they let Fredericks catch a sniff of the draft? I don't think they're going to have any choice. They've got some hungry drivers. Getting to take form back behind him. 1, 2, 3 on the track. Dutton, Gannon, Cray show the way. You know, race leaders really gonna like what they see in their rear view mirror. That's 3 wide racing. Casey Solwich in the middle with Darren Clement on the bottom. Clement gonna drop to the bottom of the racetrack. Pick up Dalton Fredericks. There's Stephen Harris Jr. third car in line. Hunter Collier with 58 machine. His teammate Harrison Mitchell just to his outside. 51 machine. He's been there all night long, running with those peak performance teammates. Todd McGregor looking good. 14 of Lee Campbell. We thought he may have been too quick entering pit road. It was not the case. He is going to lose a little bit of ground with the group that he pitted with. But still a great position to be in, up 4 spots from where he qualified, so Campbell definitely on the move. Just a lap or 2 away from the cross sticks. We'll see the halfway point here tonight. The Do It for Dale 225 for Performance Motorsports Truck Series, brought to you by Admin Box and Ayers Eye Racing Paints. Let's not forget about Bud Kicker and all of the rest of the sponsors right here with Swift Motorsports. We've got 45 laps remaining here tonight. Before we see that checkered flag fly, who's going to do it? Who's going to take the top spot? We're going to find out shortly. While you're here, if you haven't already, show these drivers some love and appreciation. Let them know you enjoy all of the great racing action here tonight from Talladega Super Speedway. Be sure to drop them that thumbs up. And there's that high line. Once again, dominant lane on the track. Not very often can we say there is a dominant lane at Talladega, but proof is in the pudding. It's right there for you to see. If you can get lined up on the high side, not only can you make up a ton of ground, but you're going to blow the doors off of the rest of the drivers on the inside. These 3 drivers back to the front. Hartman, Mitchell, Collier, they've been at the front of the field for the majority of tonight's race, and they find themselves out front once again. What a run to the front. Jumping to the high side, seizing the opportunity in front of them, and they will take those podium positions back. So as we have officially passed the halfway point, what do you say we get into some house cleaning? For tonight's race, we started with 32 drivers. Out on the track, we have still got 32 drivers. Out on the track, 30. On the lead lap, Larry Bowling listed as the final driver. On the lead lap here tonight, or I apologize, that's going to be Shane Bliss is going to be listed as the final driver on the lead lap behind the wheel of his 97 Ford F-150. Bliss going to be in that 30th position. Let's look at some big movers, though. Brenton Hunt up 12 positions from where he qualified, the 98. Inside of the top 25, looking for a solid top 20. Back here running in a second group of drivers trying to run down Carter Casey, who's tail end of this lead pack. There you can see the real tree number 2 machine of Carter Casey. Casey was your Airs Eye Racing Paints Pole Award winner. Will we see that real tree Chevy Silverado back near the front? We'll find out here in a handful of laps as we're on the downhill side of things here. The Do It for Dale 225, things heating up at the front. Let's jump to your race lead. Two and three wide racing at the front of this field once again, and now you can see Heavy pushing on the tail end of that 58. Bailey Dutton wants to get back to the front. Darren coming in the 32 machine. Started to pick up a little bit of momentum after a solid finish last week. Looking to keep things heading in the right direction. Limit inside of your top 10 in the point standings. Just needs to walk away from Talladega with a solid top 10 performance, and he should all but so up a position inside of that top 16 and a chance to run for your season championship. They're mixing it up hot and heavy through turns 3 and 4, heading back to the start and finish line we go. Let's take a look at these drivers on the pavement as they scream by. 2-3 wide, there it is, heading back across the stripe and towards turn number 1. Leading the field is Bailey Dutton. And that is your entire field, all wrapped up, all running within striking distance of each other. It is far from over. Things are far from decided here tonight as Dutton and Hartman gonna go side by side for the race lead. So I know we've got more fans out there in TV land. Come on now, let's chime in. Who you got? We're down to less than 40 laps remaining. We've got a vote for Todd Cray, Hunter Collier, Logan Hartman. We've got those drivers picked as the ones to get to victory lane. I'm going to pull a dark horse out here. And I'm going to give you a driver that we've seen have solid runs. We've seen have great races, but he just hasn't been able to put together that winning performance. He's been inside of the top 10 in the point standings for a very long time so far this season. Let's go back to our pick. And back here behind the wheel of that Chevy Accessories.com number 9 machine, Mike Rominger. Yes, he's out of touch with the lead pack right now. But we can expect a caution, right? It's Talladega. It's bound to happen. We're going to see it happen. We may see it happen inside of the final 10 to 15 laps, but I promise you, it's going to come at some point in time. The only thing these drivers have got to worry about in this pack right here is that they don't get too far back. Right now sitting 21.5 seconds back. A safe place if there's trouble out front. But that's going to be our pick. Right there. We told you we had a dark horse pick, and there it is. Mike Rominger coming into tonight's race, sitting 9th in the overall points championship, running in 22nd at the time being. just wait for him to make his way to the front. Well, rejoin drivers at the front as the 2-3 wide racing continues. Harrison Mitchell down on the bottom of the racetrack, leading that inside lane. Bailey Dutton right there, 32 machine. Darren Clement going to sit in fourth. How about Justin Gann? Right in front of teammate Todd Gray. So a great run for those Assassin Motorsports drivers. And up the track just a little bit is, I believe that's going to be the 58 up the track just a little bit. Trying to slow the run being generated on that high side. Those Peak Racing teammates, they know what that high side is all about. Looking to stall it just a little bit. Now looking to drop from the high side down to the bottom. They may be eyeballing pit road. And with these long green flag runs, there it is. Drivers to pit lane. Harrison Mitchell, Logan Hartman going to come to pit road. This time around lap number 55 going to go on the board. So right about 35, 36 laps remaining here from Talladega Super Speedway. You're watching the Do It For Dale 225. And here it is. Drivers starting to stretch things out at the front. Bailey Dutton going to lead. Darren Clement, Justin Gann, Todd Gray, Stephen Ayers Jr. Your top five. And how about Darren Clement? Right, I know he wasn't our dark horse pick. How about the solid night for Clement? Started outside of your top 20, and here he is sitting in second in a very solid position around some very solid drivers. Single file here as we work our way down the backstretch. Green flag pit stops are underway. Collier gonna get out on the track and up to speed here. We'll see if he can keep himself on the lead lap. For the time being, we would expect so. You see just off in front a handful of drivers in front of your race leaders being reeled in. That is going to be, I do believe that is going to be Nick Hunt and Logan Hartman. Hartman going to have to work hard here to keep himself on this lead lap. Sitting in 27th, final driver on the lead lap for the moment. Out of 4, will more drivers break for pit road? And indeed they do. Stephen Ayers Jr. gonna pull. Dalton Fredericks, Jerry Cochran, Tommy Haynes, Casey Salvage, Carter Casey, and John Blemish to pit lane. But this time around, top 9 going to remain on the race track. We are just about 2/3 of the way through. Let's do it for Dale 225. Want to take this time an opportunity to thank all of the sponsors that keep the lights cut on and keep the racing action out on track. Want to give a big shout out to the title series sponsor, Performance Motorsports, coming back once again, partnering with Swift to bring you this truck series as drivers gonna split. Slower cars come to pit road. A little bit of a lockup there for Todd Gray. Will that come back to bite him in the end? Let's go back here with this group of cars that's gonna take over the race lead. That's gonna be Nate Orlowski, Gary Wells, Brinson Hunt, Casey Duncan, and Mike Blominger. But back as we were saying, I want to give a big shout out to all of the sponsors that make everything work and everything happen behind the scenes. Performance Motorsports, want to give a big shout out, as always, to Butt Kicker. Their haptics transducers will put the feel of every slide, bump, run at the seat of your racing rig. Butt Kicker, feel what you've been missing. I want to give another big shout out to Mountain Mafia Kennels, the best American bully breeders in Western North Carolina. You can find them on TikTok. You can find them right there on Instagram as well as Facebook. Again, that's Mountain Mafia Kennels. Where would we be without Admin Box? And well, we'd be trying to click a whole bunch of buttons. Make Admin Box your partner and make yourself have a much easier time while being in race control. Not used just for race control, also doubling as button boxes. You can check out all of the great products over at Admin Box. Big shout out to our sponsor this season for the Ayers High Racing Paints qualifying session. As you guessed it, it's in the name, Ayers High Racing Paints. If you're looking for a wrap, maybe you need a new helmet, look no further than Ayers High Racing Paints. Some of our final few sponsors, but last but never the least, Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet coming on board, sponsoring a few things with us here at the channel. I want to give a big shout out to Tommy and Brian and all the guys, girls over at Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet, located right there in Newton, North Carolina. If you're in the market for a newer used vehicle, let them put you in the game in a new Chevy right there from Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet. You can also join them on the web. That's www.daleearnhardtchevy.com. So here we are. Green flag Pencycle worked its way through. No trouble. Nobody pumped by the pit road police. The 99. Out front right now, Jared Limstrower. I believe that's going to be Jared Limstrower in that 99 machine. And just out front of Lee Campbell sitting in fifth. But how about the run on and off pit road for this group right here? These four drivers have got it to a science. They are 2.3 seconds in front of a hungry pack of drivers. Will they be able to keep themselves that far out? That's yet to be seen. As Stephen Ayers Jr., oh no, the 62 of Stephen Ayers Jr. right here, listed as the first driver. One lap down, trouble onto pit road. He is going to pick up a pit road penalty. Tough break here tonight for that 62 machine. He's going to be looking for some help in the field. In the way of a caution flag here tonight, we'll see if that 62 gets his wishes. Meanwhile, wishing for a clean race to the end. Behind the wheel of man assesses MotorSports 26 Toyota Tundra. Bailey Dutton shows the way. Two out of your top four have visited Victory Lane already this season. It's hard to imagine race number 8 in the schedule. And we haven't talked about Todd Craig going to Victory Lane. We haven't seen that 32 in Victory Lane. Both big names, very talented veteran drivers. here with Swift Motorsports, Todd Cray, Darren Clement, skunked when it comes to checkered flags so far this season. Could tonight be the night that either one of these two drivers make it happen? With a big number of drivers pulling double duty this week here at Talladega Superspeedway, will we see a back-to-back winner this week? Could we possibly watch a driver get to victory lane in the Truck Series and back it up when they race winning performance in the Cup Cars tomorrow night, right here from Talladega Superspeedway once again? We've yet to have a driver win on doubleheader nights. A few weeks ago, we were at Pocono for both the Trucks and the Cup Series. We're back again here at Talladega with the Trucks, and tomorrow we will see those Gen 4 machines running once again here at the High Banks. And in 2 weeks to finish off the regular season in both of the series, we're going to have one more doubleheader night. Whoa, 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 super loose right here. Super loose conditions for that 98. He was almost around. Brinson Hunt struggling here. Now listed off of the lead lap. Hunt looking for a way to get back to the front, looking to get himself back on the lead lap, but struggling with a little bit of grip. So as we were saying, will we see it tonight, or will we have to wait in Kansas in 2 weeks to see if a driver can go to victory lane in both the Trucks and the Cup Series in the same week at the same track? Keeping it wound up that rowdy. Energy number 99 Chevy Silverado, piloted by Jared Limpster. He's got help from Willie Nelson on the road again and back at the high side. Working the wheel, Limpster looks for the race lead, not going to quite get there just yet as we've got Salvage to the high side, 3 wide, back through this field, 29 of Nate Orlowski going to be the latest driver to fall off of the lead lap. Orlowski going to fall a second lap down after picking up a significant pit road penalty under our latest round of green flag pit stops. And we're right around the corner once again from those green flag pit stops. Majority on the field, the pit road between lap 54 and lap number 60. So about a 6-lap window. We've seen drivers stretch it 18, 20 laps here tonight. We've seen them come to pit road as early as 14 laps. What do you do if you're at the front of the field? When do you call them to pit road? Side by side, back across the line. New race leader officially. Jared Lipster going to take the top spot, and he's going to bend in the middle lane. He's going to drop down to the bottom right in front of that number 26 machine of Bailey Dutton, who is not afraid to use that front bumper. He's going to give Lipster a big push, but here comes a run on the high side, being led by the lab machine, the 62 of Stephen Ayers Jr. Whoa, big wiggle there. Big wiggle on the high side. Yeah. Between the 25 and the 62, things getting a little dicey at the front. And this is what you don't need if you're Stephen Ayers Jr., right? You need some trouble, but you don't need to be the trouble. Big moment there, big wiggles through the field. You can see drivers checking up, scattering just a little bit. back after around that 8th, 9th position. That is definitely going to change the dynamics here. As we got drivers jumping to the high side, that's going to be the 26, the 30, and the 21 all to the top. We're going to check in with our dark horse pick here in just a brief moment as we cross the line. Lap number 70 goes on the board, 20 laps to go. Let's go check in on our pick for the evening. There you can see him still out on track, a little bit of distance and ground to make up, but Mike Rominger leading a 3-car pack. He's just got to keep himself on the lead lap. Now inside of the top 18, Rominger leading a small group of drivers. Let's head back to the front though. This is where the action is. Ooh, Todd Cray looking to get to the bottom. Little bit of slight contact with the front end of Jared Lipshire. That's going to mix things up for a moment. Sawwich on the back end of Stephen Ayers Jr. That's going to bring back, whoa, 62 truck back on the lead lap, but a little bit of contact between the 27 and the 26. No harm, no foul. They'll keep it headed in the right direction. Losing a little ground on the high side now. 5 drivers in line to 27 with a big push off the front end of Willie Nelson in that 25. Here comes the 11. The 11 of Casey Duncan on the high side, also listed off of the lead lap. The 29 of Nate Arlovsky, also off of the lead lap. The 14 in line, Lee Campbell sitting in 8th. So we've got lead lap drivers 1, 2 laps down, right here at the front of this field. Bailey Dutton, big push across the line and back into turn number 1. Stephen Ayers Jr. out in front of your race leader, Bailey Dutton, with Justin Gannon, Todd Cray rounding out your podium. Well, it looks like this trio has had enough. They're going to jump to the high side and try to make their way back down to the bottom. There it is. The move back down to the bottom. Sawwich going to ease his way around Stephen Ayers Jr. Your top 4 have cleared. Lap truck of Stephen Ayers Jr., who is still fighting hard to get himself back on the lead lap. On and off pit road already is Mitchell, McGregor, Collier, and Hartman. 58 to 38, 71, and the 40 to pit road for what should be and could be the final stop of the night. When do your race leaders come to pit road? They were last on the pit lane back at lap number 58. Right at about 17 laps ago. They're only going to have 16 to get to the end as they cross the line this time around. When will your race leaders head to pit road for the money stop here tonight? Over 15 lead changes amongst 6 different drunk drivers here tonight in the Performance Motorsports Drunk Series. Will we see it happen here tonight? Will we finally get that repeat winner? Or will we see our 8th different race winner of the season? And could you imagine here when we start the playoffs. As Jerry Cochran III, Tommy Hayes, John Wimbish, and Ben Miller all to pit road this lap. Could you imagine getting done with this regular season, this 10-week regular season, and having 10 different winners? That shows you the level of skill. That shows you the level of competition here in this truck series. It's one thing to get to victory lane, but it is a whole nother beast to try to do it multiple times. Whoa, and caution! Caution as driver spin coming to pit lane. Oh boy. Cody Lipster going to be involved in this one. John McMillan Sr. also involved. Handful of drivers going to get caught up in this one. Has caution flag flies once again. Let's see if we can check to see what happened. And there it is. Casey Salvage going to make some contact with Lipster in the 98 as well. We'll take one more look here. Do we got another? Yeah, okay. All right, we're going to go take one more look at it here. There you can see. It looked like the 51 got a little upset on the track up there. It looks like some drivers were making their way to the bottom. And when I say upset, it looks like there it is. Right there, I believe. Contact from the 98. Contact from the 98 sent the 51 up the track into the Sawwich. Carnage, chaos ensues from there. So there it is. There's the caution that some of these drivers needed, right? Handful of these guys needed help from a caution flag. Will this be the one that they needed? Looks like Stephen Ayers Jr. may have picked up a little bit of damage on this one. He's already made his pit stop. We apologize. That's going to be John McMillan Jr. with the trouble. So as drivers to pit lane for what should be the final time, we're going to step away from just a brief commercial break, pay a few bills. You know how that goes. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
And we bring you back in trackside as pit road is opened up. Handful of drivers going to make their stop, as the majority of the field will stay out. Little bit of a different look now at the front of this field. Let's head trackside with the turn 3 drone cam. There you see the 00 of Nick Hunt looking to get himself a wave around, get himself back in the mix, back on the lead lap. The 58 of Harrison Mitchell caught one lap down. Hunter Collier, his Peak Racing teammate, also caught, also caught one lap down due to the green flag pit cycle and the timing of that caution. They're going to be back on the lead lap, but they're going to be tail end of the field. They're going to have to pass a lot of drivers, but we seen them on the start of tonight's race. On the initial start, they hooked up, went to the high side. Will we see a repeat? Pace car lights off. Under 15 to go. Let's get a little closer to the action as we get set for green flag racing once again here from Talladega Super Speedway. Only our second caution of the night. Will that Busch Peach Toyota Tundra of Tommy Haynes get the job done, or will it be Jerry Cochran III doing what no other driver has been able to do so far this season? Not just pick up that second win, but do it in back-to-back nights. Your Ayers High Racing Paints Pole Award winner, he's back in the mix. Carter Casey going to start second truck outside line. Our good buddy Josiah Millen gets that pace car out the way, and we are set to get underway. Once again here from Talladega Super Speedway to the restart zone, we roll. And away we go. Green flag flies. No real advantage at the front to 72. Grayson Jade Photography. Chevy Silverado gonna get a little better start. The three trucks lined up on the high side. Here comes another. Dalton Fredericks bails from the bottom lane. He's gonna put his All-Star 15 TV. Ford F-150 to the high side. Looking to follow a pair of Toyotas to the front of the field. A little bit of a stack up on this initial start. We'll have just 10 laps to go this time by. 25 miles of racing remaining here at the Do It For Dale 225 for the Performance Motorsports Truck Series, powered by Admin Box and Ayers High Racing Paints, right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, your home for Swift Motorsports. Final 10 laps remaining here from Talladega Super Speedway. We are side by side at the front of the field, over 190 miles an hour as these truck drivers push the limits. Into we got three wide. There it is. Taryn Clement going to put that 32 machine to the high side. We've watched it work time and time again. Will it work? Coming to the end here tonight at Talladega Super Speedway. 2-3 wide racing at the front. There it is. It's happening. It is on display. There it is. Darren Clement can lead that third lane. Oh, trouble behind. Trouble behind. They're going to sort it out, but man, that was close. Meanwhile, from the field, Justin Gandy going to say, see ya. He's going to lead Darren Clement behind. He's going to drop down to that inside lane. All the way from the top to the bottom. Justin Gandy to the race lead. High side going to lose a little bit of momentum for a moment, but now jumping to the high side. Here goes that 14 of Lee Campbell. He's got help from the 9 of Mike Rominger behind the wheel of that Chevy accessory. Oh, and there it is. Big trouble. Oh, man. Massive wreck for a lot of drivers. The 40 sideways up against the wall. Caution flag will fly. Big time trouble here on lap number 72. Or I apologize, 82. Big time trouble here. Somehow that 40 gets rolling once again, but the trouble here comes late in the race. 2-3 wide racing, and they run out of room. Coming out of turn number 2 and on to the back stretch, we're going to see our third caution fly as the guys look for the replay. We're looking over at them like, come on, guys, what are you doing over there? You got one job, guys, one job. And as the production team works feverishly to try to find that caution for you, we're going to take just a moment here. Make sure they've got it. Do you got it, guys? Crazy little action there. Coming off of turn number 2, we've seen some trouble the previous lap. But then a handful of guys coming together there. And carnage ensues, and let's go check the replay. There it is. 21 involved, the 32 involved. Handful of drivers going to go streaking by. Let's take one more look at it here. Logan Hartman involved. It looks like the 58 may have been able to clear, but our darker horse pick involved in this one, sandwiched into that outside wall, and tough break here tonight. That 9 of Mike Rominger. So with this third and maybe final caution of the night, we're going to get things kicked off with less than 5 laps to go. Will tires matter? Handful of drivers to pit road this latest time by. Handful of drivers now going to be listed off of the lead lap. We have had one official retirement. The 98 of Brinson Hunt listed down out of tonight's race in the 32nd position. So a tough night behind the wheel of that 98 Toyota Tundra. A handful of guys in damage control. Not sure if they're going to be able to rejoin the track. I think our pick to win here tonight, I think he's going to have a hard time getting that machine fixed up enough to get back out there on the track. And just a tough run. Mike Rominger inside the top 5 with less than 10 to go. Running that high line. Trouble underneath. It finds its way to the top lane. And Rominger got to head to the pits. So we got a little time. We haven't really talked about it very much here tonight, but why don't we go ahead and talk about it a little bit right here, right now, while we've got some time on our hands. Coming into tonight's race, this is what your point standings shook out to be. Leading his fellow drivers by 8 points. Dalton Frederick's going to have that top spot in the point standings. He's all but guaranteed a shot in your championship 16. Hunter Collier right there sitting in second. Bailey Dutton just 17 points out in a battle with Jerry Cochran, the third, just 1 point back from him. Close battle inside of that top 5. But let's go a little bit deeper in the field. Let's go right around that 16th position. Limpscher in Wales, 14th and 15th, knotted up with 186 points apiece. Brian Hitz just 2 points back from them in that cutoff position. Willie Nelson only 6 points away from making his way into the championship 16. Stephen Ayers Jr., he can still get the job done. Tough break here tonight for Stephen Ayers Jr., but he's still got 2 more weeks. Auto Club in Kansas to make up the points needed. It's less than 20. More than enough can be gained in 2 more weeks. We'll see how everything shakes down for the rest of the night here tonight. Tell you what, let's look a little further. Larry Poling, Gary May still with the opportunity. Shane Bliss in that 21 machine. He's going to be the last driver with the mathematical opportunity. Right, so we've got 6 drivers on the outside looking in. We've got drivers just on the inside trying to keep themselves in. So I would say about a 10 truck battle for those final 4 to 5 positions inside of your championship 16. As our good buddy Josiah Millen gonna bring that racing pace car back to pit road. We're gonna nail the loud pedal and unleash the beast once again here from the high banks and high speeds of Talladega Super Speedway through the triangle in the restart zone, and green flag flies once again here from Talladega. Again with a good jump on the inside, will stay double file, much more organized. Restart this time around, and it looks like a 3rd lane may be developing. The 2 wants to go to the high side. Again, trying to follow, trying to block off that run, but it's going to be a short-lived opportunity as your pole sitter, Casey, back to the front. Carter Casey, you go back to the point, and that real tree number 2. Pushing and shoving here near the front of the field. It is go time here at Talladega Super Speedway. We'll cross the line and drop that scoring back to the left-hand side of your screen with just 3 laps to go, and to do it for Dale, 2:25. 17 of Tommy Haynes going to look to the inside, trying to get the run on Jerry Cochran. In trouble behind drivers, down to the apron and back up the track. Hard impact up the track. Jared Limpscher going to be involved. The 45 involved. Big trouble here. Latch caution will fly once again. That's going to put us into overtime here at Talladega Super Speedway. Let's go check the replay. There you can see being turned back across the track. Oh, and the 27 of Salwich. He's going to catch up a piece of this one. Nick Hunt going to catch a big piece of the action. A lot of drivers involved in this latest one, too. There you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, almost up and over. The 33 of Gary Wells, almost up and over. You can see heavy damage on that Grace and Jade Photography 82 machine of Jerry Cochran Jr. So trouble ensues late here at Talladega Super Speedway as your pole sitter, the man out front, showing the way, looking for victory lane for what would be his 2nd time of the season. We're going to re-rack them and rerun them for our first green-white checkered attempt at a finish. Only 2 attempts at a green-white checkered finish, so will we get it done on this round, or will we need that 2nd opportunity to finish it under green flag conditions? More interesting here. 5 out of your top 10 are previous race winners. We had talked about, will we see a fresh face in the victory lane? Or will tonight be the night that we finally see a driver with a repeat win? It looks like that repeat is in the making. Carter Casey looks for victory lane for the second time. Last week's race winner, Jerry Cochran III, looks for his second win. Fredericks, Gann, Mitchell, all in search for that second win. Will the likes of Tommy Haynes go quiet? Will Cody Lipscher fade in the end? Let's not count out the man that qualified second. There you can see him. 7th truck in line. John Wimbish. He's yet to get to victory lane this season. Lee Campbell. Casey Duncan. All right here. Just about 20 laps ago, we were talking about that 11 machine being off of the lead lap. And here it is, with overtime upon us. Casey Duncan not only on the lead lap, but inside your top 10. Up 22 positions from where he qualified, Duncan is the biggest mover of the race at this point in time. Cody Lipscher, he's up 18 positions. He's going to restart from the 6th position. Hunter Collier, he's right here. Peak Racing 38 machine, looking to work his way to a podium, maybe even victory lane. A lot of drivers with a lot on the line, with not a lot of racing remaining. Here from Talladega Superspeedway, let's stay up at the front as the field will receive the one finger wave this time by for the boss man in the flag stand. Let's cut those space car lights off and let's go back green flag racing this time by. So I guess 2 out of 4 of our driver picks still in the mix. Not a bad percentage. Unfortunately, the 40 of Logan Hartman, trouble here tonight, compounded with more issues after the fact. Logan Hartman listed outside of the top 20. Our dark horse pick of the night, unfortunately going to be your second driver out of tonight's race. Mike Rominger will walk away from Talladega in 31st. Nate Orlowski also going to join the drivers back behind pit wall, down and out of tonight's race. Behind the wheel of that Corn Hub number 29 machine, the Corn Star will not spray the champagne here tonight. So, still in the mix is Hunter Collier and Todd Cray, but both of those drivers will restart outside of your top 10. Collier in the 11th, Todd Cray 14th. Will either of those guys make the charge to the front? And here we go, once again, ready to fire things off and get back under green flag conditions. It's our first attempt at a green-white checkered finish inside lane. The 72 high side, your pole sitter Carter Casey ready to drop the hammer to the restart zone. We roll and away we go once again. Green flag flies. Here to do it for Dale, 225. What a jump on the high side. Casey Fredericks getting out and away from the field. That's going to open up the, oh boy, that's going to open up the door for that 96 of Cody Limster. Can he be the spoiler here? Limster all over the 20 of Dalton Fredericks. Side drafting, big bump, big move, contact, drivers around. And that's going to be a quick caution. Quick caution here. Blocking leads to another attempt at a green-white checkered finish here. Jerry Cochran Jr. on to pit road. Cody Limster trying to work his way to a race win, contact, chaos, and around a bunch of drivers go. And back behind the pace car we roll. So with a quick caution here and a little bit of time on our hands, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break. Get things set up and ready to go to the end. As our next flag will end the race, we're going to drop the green flag on our final green-white checkered attempt. Whether it's the checkered flag or the yellow flag, we will end it on this next attempt to finish under green flag conditions. We're going to step away. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be back with your finish in the Do It for Dale 225. And back trackside as drivers make their way down the backstretch and into turn number 3. We're going to get ready to let the field set sail on the final attempt at a green, white, checkered finish. And how about those Peak Racing teammates? Gonna start nose to tail on the high side. Look for these two drivers. Try to make some moves late here. I would expect to see that 58 and 38 stick together. I would expect to see them be the first drivers to look for a 3-wide situation. We've seen them do it earlier here tonight. Will we see it again? We're fixing to find out because business about to pick up. It's down to the nitty-gritty as we head to the restart zone. Waiting for the field into the Geico restart zone. All the gas and green flag flies for the final time. Here from Talladega Superspeedway, the two gonna get a good jump, and he's gonna go to the high side. He's gonna open up that inside lane for that number 17 of Tommy Haynes. Big push here now as Justin Gann gonna push that Busch Peach number 17 to the front. Tommy Haynes looks for the race lead. Halfway down the backstretch, we're gonna go ahead and do it early. Let's drop that timing scoring back to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you follow along and find your favorite driver here tonight as we get set for the finish. Here at Talladega Superspeedway, your pole sitter showing the way. Oh, close. Racing off of 4. A lot of wiggling going on here. 4 stacked up on the high side. 2 of them working together. The tandem on the bottom. Haynes and Gann. They've got company now. I believe that is going to be the 26 machine of Bailey Dutton. And yes, it is. Here they come steaming on the bottom. Looking to freight train the field on the high side is that number 2 machine. Close racing, and there it is. There's that 3-wide move. We told you it was coming, and here it is. 3 wide, 3 rows deep in the final lap, in the final quarter. Here from Talladega Superspeedway, Tommy Haynes with the advantage for the moment. They scatter behind him. Big push from Gann on the back end of that 17. He's going to drop him to the inside. Gann on the apron. And it's going to be the 2. Carnage, chaos ensues here. Oh my gosh. But the real tree number 2 of Carter Casey will take the checkered flag. Let's go back. Let's take one more look at how it all happened. Let's go back here one more time. Coming to the end of tonight's race. Check this out. 2, 3, 4 wide through your top drivers. Again, all the way down there on the apron. We're going to have to wait to see what race officials have to say about that one. Haynes was right there. Fredericks tries to make something happen at the top. Unable to do so. Big move from the 26 of Bailey Dutton, and there's the contact. Look at that. 6 wide. Whew. No wonder it didn't work. Walking away, though, front of the field, Carter Casey. Your pole sitter will enjoy his post-race celebrations on the front stretch as he burns it down and celebrates his second win on the season, doing what no other driver's been able to do. Carter Casey will head to victory lane, and that's going to move us into post-race activities. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back with all your post-race driver interviews right here from Talladega Superspeedway. and back high above the track. Oh, here at the conclusion of tonight's Do It for Dale 225 for the Performance Motorsports Truck Series. What a finish, what a race. Long green flag racing here at Talladega Super Speedway. And it's going to be cut short by some green-white checkered attempts right at the end. But, you know, it's restrictor plate racing. It kind of comes with the territory. You would expect to see a little bit of that. But let's see if we can dial up and have a few words with the man that finished in the final spot on the podium, walking away with third here tonight, up 11 positions from where you qualified. Dalton, it's Dave. You got us?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. How about you?
Gonna be better.
Well, man, yet another podium finish for you in that number 20 All-Star 15 TV machine. Eyeballing that championship 16. You came into tonight's race sitting in the overall championships points lead. With this third place finish, you lock yourself in. Doesn't matter what happens in the next 2 weeks. How much of a load off the shoulders is that?
Yeah, it feels pretty good. Staying consistent all season with the top 10 finishes and whatnot really helped us with staying up there, up in the front on the leaderboard. And with that, we were able to hold a comfortable position in the point standings and comfortably make it to the round of 16. So proud of our guys for all the work they've done to get us up to that position.
Well, man, again, congratulations on the great season that you and your crew have been having, that you and your teammates have been having as well. We're not going to hold you very long here tonight. I know you want to enjoy a little bit of your time knowing that you don't have much to worry about when it comes to that championship 16. So before we let you go here tonight, Dalton, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, maybe thank anybody back home or at the race shop?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Hutch Sport Racing, an independent AMSOIL dealer. I'd like to thank All-Star 15 TV for sponsoring our car, main sponsor on our car. Nerds Doing Nerd Things, Detour by Design LLC, Drinking Bros Auto Racing Group, Broken Oak Kennels. Thank you for all of them for supporting us and what they've done for us. Thank you to Landon at the end of that race. We did one heck of a job at the end there. With positioning ourselves to where we can have the best finish, and we were very good at the end there. So proud of Landon. I'm sorry, take that back. Carter Casey, I'm sorry, Carter. Please don't hate me when I come back to the chat. But Carter Casey and I worked very good at the end. I could tell him what to do, and he was very good at drafting with me. So very proud of him. Glad he got the win, and glad we were able to go 1-3 tonight.
Well, man, again, congratulations on securing that finals, or not the final spot, securing your spot in the top 16 and gonna battle for that championship. We wish you the best over the next 2 weeks in the regular season, but we are eyeballing the opportunity to talk to you in post-race interviews during this championship run. So until then, Dalton, as always, stay safe and keep it fast.
Have a good night.
All right, there's some final quick words from the man that walks away third on the podium here tonight behind the wheel of that All-Star 15 TV. Number 20 machine, Dalton Fredericks, with yet another podium this season. That's going to move us right along with the man that finished second here tonight, picking up yet another podium finish behind the wheel of that number 26 machine. Bailey, it's Dave. You got us?
I gotcha.
Well, man, you're the only Toyota inside of the top three. How good does it feel to carry the banner for that manufacturer?
Pretty good considering that, and I had to climb through the field twice there with about 10 to go. So to say I'm happy to get second is probably an understatement.
Well, Bailey, you came into tonight's race third in the overall point standings. Another podium finish for you. That's going to lock you in to the championship 16, so you can breathe easy for the next 2 weeks. But how are you eyeballing those final 5 weeks in this championship run?
Yeah, just going out there and trying to secure some good finishes and carry some momentum into playoffs.
I mean, you make it sound so simple.
It's definitely not. It may sound like it, but it is definitely not an easy task to grab top threes at any track on
Well,
any given day.
Well, not an easy task to finish at the front of the field here at these restrictor plate races. As you said, you had to climb through the field multiple times. At the end, you were able to get the job done. A great run to the start-finish line. A little bit of chaos as you cross the line, but nonetheless, walking away second here tonight. So before we let you go, would you like to give any final shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yeah, the chaos at the end is always fun to watch, but
It's like a
That's
train
there.
wreck, you know? You want to look away, but you just can't.
But you know what's gonna happen. You just gotta hope you come out on the better end of it when it does happen. But yeah, I'd like to thank you and Swift Motorsports, and then everybody at Assassin. My teammates worked together pretty good, and I believe that's why we came away with a good, strong finish.
Well, Bailey, again, congratulations on your podium finish. Congratulations on locking yourself into that championship 16. We hope to catch up with you over the course of that 5-week championship run. But as always, stay safe and keep it fast.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, there you go. Final words for the man behind the wheel of that, excuse me, of that Toyota Tundra, the 26 machine of Bailey Dutton, will finish in the second. So with a podium full of previous race winners, we're going to see if we can head to victory lane now and have a few words with the man that claimed the top spot in both qualifying and walks away with the checkered flag at the end of this one. Carter, you've been able to do what nobody else has been able to do so far this season. That's win the pole and the race in the same night. Also, you're going to be our first two-time winner this season. Do you think you may be separating yourself from your competition?
Definitely helps getting some extra points in the bank. I knew tonight was just a chance to be there around at the end and take what we could get. So just wanted to get pole, and I knew I could drop pole time and stay up front until it started getting a little busy up there, too busy for my liking. So I just dropped to the back, hung out for a bit. Really clean middle segment of the race, so just kind of stay with the draft, and then the end was the end. We rack them back up, and so it starts getting chaotic, just like Dago always does.
Well, man, with the good run here tonight, the points from the podium, the points from the race win, you came into tonight's race sitting right around that sixth position, I want to say, sixth or seventh in the championship standings. This will secure you with a top 16 for this regular season. You are going to race for a championship. Do you breathe any easier over these next 2 weeks?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I felt pretty comfortable. I had to miss Pocono, so that was a little bit of a setback, but still had a good enough start to the season to where it didn't hurt me too much as far as the top 16 goes. So having last week wasn't my best race by any means, but still salvaged a top 10, and then this week was able to pull off the win. Dalton pushed me a ton there at the end, so I couldn't have done it without him, and yeah, it feels good to keep stacking up good finishes like we've been doing.
Well, great racing, great finishes, great teammates, all culminate into great runs for a championship. I think you're going to be one of the drivers that the competition needs to eyeball and keep a watch on. We'll see how you go over the next 2 weeks. It matters, but it doesn't. But you understand the feelings and the thoughts behind that. We're going to hopefully get a chance to talk to you over those final 5 weeks on that championship run. But for the final time here tonight from Talladega, before you pop that champagne, would you like to give any final shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yeah, just a huge thank you to HSR, All Star 15, Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, Detour B Design, Drinking Bros Auto Racing, and Broken Oak Canals. All those guys over there, they've been fun to work with. I've been working with them for a little bit of time, and they've helped me out a ton in a short amount of time already. So just a huge shout out to them. Thank you for doing the broadcast like you do, and thank these guys for putting on this league.
Well, man, again, congratulations on becoming our first two-time winner this season. We look forward to catching up with you over the championship run. Until then, as always, stay safe and keep it fast.
All right, thank you.
All right, there it is. As the champagne sprays, that's cold. It's Carter Casey having fun down here in Victory Lane. He's going to be our first two-time winner this season. What a run here from Talladega for the man behind the wheel of that number 2 Realtree Chevy Silverado. Carter Casey takes the checkered flag. What a run. What a night here from Talladega Superspeedway. Long green flag run towards the mid portion of tonight's race. And the Do It for Dale ends in fashion with green-white checkered attempts upon us. So what a race, what a night. And you can hear producers hitting those buttons in the background. You know the sounds. You know it's time for us to run down your unofficial race results. And the Do It for Dale 225 brought to you by Performance Motorsports Truck Series in partnership with Admin Box and Airs Eye Racing Paints. Checkered flag belongs to the 2 of Carter Casey. Bailey Dutton finishing in second with Dalton Fredericks rounding out your podium drivers. The 30 of Justin Gann going to come home fourth, finishing fifth tonight. The 17 of Tommy Haynes with John Wimbish sliding home in sixth. Casey Duncan going to slide home in seventh. Eighth place tonight from Talladega Super Speedway, the 58 of Harrison Mitchell. Todd Craig going to come home ninth, and rounding out your top 10, the 38 of Hunter Collier. Casey Sawich back at 11th with Willie Nelson, finishing 12th. 13th tonight from Talladega is Nick Hunt. Lee Campbell back in 14th. The 69 of Larry Poling going to finish in 15th. The 72 of Jerry Cochran III, unable to go back-to-back visits to Victory Lane here tonight. Jerry will finish in 16th. Stephen Ayers Jr. going to pull the 62 home in 17th. 18th place tonight from Talladega Super Speedway belongs to Cody Lipscher. Elsie Haley into 6th. Quiet night for Daly. He'll finish as the final driver on the lead lap back in 19th. The 97 of Shane Bliss going to round out your top 20 with Logan Hartman back in 21st. Jarrett Limpster going to park the 99 in 27th. John McMillan Sr. back in 23rd. The 32 machine of Darren Clement going to finish in 24th, while Ben Miller rounds out your top 25. 26th tonight to Brian Hitz, Jerry Cochran Jr. at 27th, Todd McGregor 28th, 29th from Talladega Super Speedway belongs to Gary Wells, Nate Orlovsky, Mike Rominger, and Brinson Hunt. Round out the 32 truck field here tonight from Talladega Super Speedway. Big tip of the cap and shout out to Race Control and admins Don Kidder and Andy Starcher. So as we roll up the lights and cut off the cords, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet ya in turn 3.